From Catawba Valley, the Region 10 men's basketball semifinals. As we take a look at the bracket and we start with our first semifinal, it's the top seed Brunswick Dolphins at 26-4 and 12-2 in Region 10, taking on 5th seed Richard Bland at 10-15 and 7-7 in the region. Hi again, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you for our two semifinals today. Cape Fear and Wake Tech coming up after this one is complete, and the winner goes to the championship game, which will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let's meet the starters. First for Richard Bland, advancing out of the first round yesterday, beating Gaston 65-51. For head coach Guillermo Cabrera today, it's number 0, Jermaine Costin Jr., number 4 is Andy Ramirez, number 5, Jalen Smith, number 11 is first-team All-Region Doyle Brown, and number 12 is Dove Fishburne. And now for Walter Shaw and the Dolphins, it is number 1, Elias Bowser getting the start here today. Number 2 is first-team All-Region Cam Oates. Number 6 is Ty Barbie. Number 15 is Derek Green. And number 23 is second-team All-Region Landon King. So the Dolphins with a bit of a change in the starting lineup. Armani Henderson, who is suited and ready to go, not in the starting lineup. And it's Elias Bowser instead. The Brunswick Dolphins have won 14 straight games in a row after dropping their first 2 Region 10 games way back in January. And they started this winning streak at Richard Bland back in January. The Dolphins won both meetings in the regular season against the Statesmen. At Richard Bland, it was 72-69. Brunswick went 5 of 10 from the free throw line. Richard Bland, 17 of 23. Dolphins led that game by double digits. Ditto for the second meeting. It was another close one. Dolphins got him, though, 70-65. In that game, Brunswick went 8 of 12 from the line. Richard Bland, 20 of 29. Are you sensing a theme here? Richard Bland won rebounding battles in both games. Brunswick outshot Richard Bland both times. So 2 very competitive games in the regular season. The top seed takes the court for the first time here in the semifinals. Dolphins getting a bye with this 17 tournament this year. Richard Bland put together just about as well of a defensive performance as you can yesterday. In fact, all 3 teams who advanced yesterday did that. Costin will tip it up, and Derek Green wins it for the Dolphins. So we're underway here in the semifinals. Brunswick controls the opening tip. The top shooting team in the region, Brunswick, at 49% as a team. Elias Bowser over to Cam Oates, guarded closely by Fishburne. Cross court to Ty Barbie from downtown. Can't get it to go. Tipped rebound. Derek Green put back is good, and the Dolphins are on the board first. Derek Green has really upped his production since the last time Statesmen fans you saw him. And he is the top shooter in Region 10 at 70%. Doyle Brown out to Fishburne out deep. Bounce passes it over to Smith. Smith. Brown has his pocket picked, so Elias Bowser gets the start today. Throws an alley-oop that is going to go out of bounds as Barbie had trouble with it, but you love the defensive effort here for Bowser. Dolphins in a full court press here. Brunswick 11.8 steals per game. Brunswick on the year, 9th in JUCO basketball, 2nd in the region to Salkehatchie in steals per game. And Henderson, who we'll see at some point, the nation's leader in both steals per game and total steals. Inbound goes to Ramirez. Ramirez had 21 yesterday. Brown had 23, so 44 of the 65 points from those 2 players for Richard Bland as they took down Gaston by 14. Nice cut down low, and Fishburne blows the layup. For Richard Bland, they have to shoot a high percentage today. They can't miss easy ones like that. Landon King has his shot blocked. Nice defense. Recovering Jalen Smith and then it went off Landon and out of bounds. So Statesmen get a big stop there after a missed opportunity on the offensive end. They go back on offense, trailing 2-0. Hiroshima, glad to be with you. 3 good games yesterday. Richard Bland, quote-unquote, upsetting as the 5 seed over the 4 seed, Gaston, yesterday. Costin Jr. given space. This is Ramirez losing it. It's a second steal for Brunswick. Bowser lays it up and in. Elias Bowser making the most of getting one of his rare starts of the year here in the semifinals. Fishburne into the forecourt, 4-zip to Brunswick. On the near side, this is Smith. 9 points yesterday for Smith. He spins and has his pocket pick, Landon King, with the 3rd steal for Brunswick. And then bounce passes it a little bit low for Ty Barbie. So Dolphins on 2 of these turnovers forced have turned it over a couple of times, but they do lead at 4-zip. Just underway here in our first semifinal. It's the 3 seed Wake Tech, 7 seed Cape Fear coming up in our second semifinal later on today. Again, winners to the championship game. That'll be tomorrow at 2 p.m. here on YouTube. Smith guarded by Ty Barbie, gets around him, met by Green, and scores anyways. Tough bucket there. Jalen Smith, who came into the tournament averaging close to 11 a game. Elias Bowser, open for a moment, now he'll back down. Costin stays with him, throws it high for Oates. That's going to be a backcourt violation. So Dolphins a little bit sloppy with the basketball as they've turned it over now 3 times in less than 3 minutes. Fouls will be the big thing to look out for here today. First 2 meetings, Richard Bland dominated free throw shooting, and it helped them stick around. In both previous regular season meetings, Dolphins led those games by double digits, and they looked like they were in cruise control, and then Richard Bland started attacking the basket, getting to the charity stripe. Right now, Richard Bland and Brunswick both having trouble taking care of the basketball. Ramirez back it down. Over Barbie, tough bucket there by Ramirez, and we are tied for the first time here today. Landon King over to Cam Oates. Elias Bowser, corner pocket. In and out on the 3. Green tipped the rebound, and a fight for it won by Ramirez. So Statesmen with an opportunity to go on top for the first time here this afternoon. Fishburne out near midcourt. Here is Costin, Ramirez, and Smith now backing down. Brown. Costin, Ramirez, shot clock down to 4. Ramirez drives in. Beautiful offense there. You see Richard Bland yesterday. That was Costin, by the way, with the bucket. You see Richard Bland yesterday working the clock. They don't panic if it's inside 5. They're trying to get what they want, which is a lot of movement without the basketball. And you saw it on display there. First lead of the game for Richard Bland on a 6-0 run. Derek Green, I don't know, that should be maybe goaltending, but that's what Guillermo Cabrera was asking for, as Green, not intentionally, but hung on the rim. The ball bounced up and then went in, and the officials allow it, so we are tied for the second time today at 6 apiece. 4.5 minutes into our first semifinal. Smith on the far side. Cross court to Doyle Brown. Brown over 2 defenders, got it in the foul. What a play by Doyle Brown. And he's going to go to the line for an old school 3-point play when we come back. 15:23 to go. We're just underway here in the Region 10 semifinals.
It's time to redefine what it means to be a college student. At Catawba Valley Community College, Red Hawks do more than learn. They explore, embark, and excel. Take charge of your academics close to home. Seek new talents. Capture your degree from every angle. And build the education you've always wanted. When it comes down to it, why walk when you can soar? Raise your standards. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Discover the CVCC Alexander Complex, your gateway to college in Taylorsville, North Carolina. The CVCC experience knows no bounds. It's education that reaches you, no matter where you are. With several associate degree programs and continuing education opportunities, you can unlock the full potential of Catawba Valley at the Alexander Complex. This is higher education close to home. Visit cvcc.edu to start your journey.
8-6, it's Richard Bland, the 5 seed, leading the top seed Brunswick here at the Region 10 semifinals. A couple of ties in this game, and 4 of the 5 starters for Richard Bland have scored. Basically everybody but Fishburne. So Costin, Ramirez, Smith, and Brown, 2 points each. Green's got 4 already for Brunswick. Bowser with 2. No changes for the Dolphins out of the timeout. And I don't see any changes for Richard Bland either. So it's an and one opportunity for Doyle Brown, who had a team-high 23 yesterday, and he gets that free throw to go. Doyle Brown, rare combination, leading the region in both rebounds per game and assists per game. Zone right now for the Statesmen. Cam Oates, top of the key. Looking down low, gets it to Green. Green off the glass and in. Derek Green up to 6 points, and it's a 1-point lead for Richard Bland. I was wrong. Richard Agbo in out of the timeout as Costin goes out of the game. Fishburne on the right wing. This is Ramirez top of the key. Again, up against the clock. Ramirez draws contact on Landon King. Third team foul already on Brunswick. We talked about this already. Fouls were going to be a sticking point here as Mike Hayes Jr. gets ready to check in for the Dolphins. I'm personally not a fan of that kind of foul when the offensive player initiates contact like that. Letter of the law, I mean, those are things that I think college basketball in general has to take a look at, because that's not a foul to me. If you drive into somebody, if you are initiating the contact, how is that a foul on the defender who's just there existing, you know? So Ramirez, I mentioned it yesterday, great free throw shooter at 80%. He struggled a bit at the beginning of the game yesterday from the charity stripe and then didn't miss down the stretch, and he's perfect here. So Ramirez with 4, Brown with 3, Richard Bland leads it 11-8. Out deep, Cam Oates. Green up top. Catch and shoot. Landon King airballs the 3. Ball trickles out. Cam Oates for 3. In and out. Mike Hayes Jr. with the hustle play to get the rebound. Tip pass by King. Ball fake Oates. Throws it down low. And the big guy, Derek Green, is blocked but fouled. So Green will go to the free throw line. I mentioned the Dolphins are the top shooting team in the region. 3 Dolphins in the top 10 in Region 10. Derek Green, as I mentioned, shooting 70% from the field. That leads Region 10. It's tied for 5th nationally. At the free throw line, though, he's just 44%. Henderson's second in the region. Armani shooting 61%. And Latham, who we'll see off the bench for Walter Shaw, third in the region, just under 60%. So both free throws are missed. First foul of the game on Richard Bland. They lead at 11-8. We're just about 6 minutes in here in our first semifinal. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you from the home studio in Ohio as Jalen Smith walks it into the forecourt. Costin back in. Costin and Agbo. Agbo now at the half circle down low. Ball deflected out. Players running at Doyle Brown. He dribbles out of trouble, gets it up. Ramirez gets it away as the shot clock was winding down. Hustle play by Agbo to keep it alive. Extra possession for the Statesmen. And Richard Bland, he can't ask for a better start again. Just like yesterday against Gaston, playing exactly how they want as Mike Hayes Jr. picks up team foul number 4 for Brunswick. This is the game this is the style of play that the Statesmen want to play. Bowser out with his 2 points, and here's Armani Henderson, who did not start today. But we expect him to see a lot of run. The top steals man in the country now on the court for the Dolphins. Brown going to work. The pull-up is good. Doyle Brown puts Richard Bland up by 5. He's got 5. Henderson into the front court. 7 minutes in. Dolphins, one of the top scoring teams right now. Just 8 points on the board. Mike Hayes Jr. tries to change that, and he buries the triple. Mike Hayes Jr. on the year shooting 44% from 3, makes it a 2-point game. Smith into the front court. It's Ramirez on the right side. They're running at him. Gets it away to Agbo. Agbo banks it off the glass. So they're running guys at Ramirez and Doyle Brown, and you get why. But Agbo gets an easy one there as a result. Again, zone here for Richard Bland. Cam Oates out deep with it. Landon King left wing. Cross court to Henderson. Shot clock winding down. You can hear the Dolphins bench urging their team. Corner pocket 3 is good. That's Landon King's first triple. Second team all-region, Landon King. 6th in the region in three-point shooting coming into play today at 39%, averaging 13.7 points per game. And he cuts the deficit for Brunswick down to 1. Richard Bland 14, Richard Bland 15, Dolphins 14. Smith goes left of the lane, hands it off to Ramirez. And Ramirez got fouled. That's Landon King's second. 5th team foul on Brunswick. We're going to go to a timeout. 11:31 left to go here in the opening half of our first semifinal at the Region 10 Men's Basketball Tournament. Congrats to everybody on the all-region teams this year. Chris Sheeman back with you. Catawba Valley hosting the Region 10 Men's Basketball Tournament. Hickory, North Carolina for the second straight year. It's Richard Bland basketball. They have a 1-point lead, 9 on the shot clock as Henderson deflects it out of bounds. This will be the 7th straight year that we will have a different champion as USC Salkehatchie knocked off yesterday. Driving in is Smith, swings it out. Ramirez in the corner. Ramirez forces it up, had to get it off. Derek Green the rebound. Great defense there from Brunswick. Cam Oates to Henderson. Blake Bartney in the game, and he was all by himself on the backdoor cut. He has a bucket. So nobody picked up Bartney. Bartney out there, Oates, Henderson in the backcourt, Green up front, Mike Hayes Jr. For Richard Bland Tough move to the bucket for Ramirez. He's going back to the line. Dolphins already up to 16 fouls. That's our first lead change of the game. Dolphins scored the first 4 points. Richard Bland responded, and we had 2 ties in the early stages, and now our first lead change. And we'll see if Andy Ramirez can get the lead back now for the Statesmen. The last team to repeat in Region 10 was Cape Fear. That was back in 2019. Ramirez now with 5 points. Then Salk won it in 2020, Brunswick in 21, Caldwell in 22, Cape won it in 23, and Salk again last year. So out of the last 7 years, Cape Fear has won it 3 times, Salk 2 times. Brunswick has been in the championship game 2 of the last 4 years. Ramirez now up to 6 points, matching Derek Green for the game high. 2 lead changes, 2 ties now. Amari Latham in the game. He's having himself a great March shooting the basketball. Armani Henderson drives in. Green tip pass out. Bartney for 3. Got it to go. Dolphins are raining triples right now. And they're back on top. 19-17 here at the midway point. 3 ball no good over on the right side for Richard Bland. Bartney into the forecourt. Here's Cam Oates. Henderson in the lane. Henderson gets doubled up, swings it out to Bartney. Oates, Latham, Henderson. Drives the runner by Armani off the back iron. Rebound to Smith. Smith throws it ahead. Nobody back on Brown. Bartney recovers and able to deflect it off Doyle Brown. What a play by Blake Bartney, who comes off the bench with 5 quick points after Landon King got into foul trouble and now makes a defensive play. Derek Green goes out for Walter Shaw. Zion Gardner coming in. And Guillermo Cabrera is going to counter by giving Doyle Brown his first rest. And Costin returns. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the Richard Bland jerseys today. So if I mis-ID somebody, I do apologize. Latham cross court. Cam Oates catch and shoot triple. No good. Tip for the rebound. Latham with the hustle play. Bartney can't score. Then Gardner is fouled on the third try for Brunswick. So Dolphins crashing the offensive glass. That's the second team foul on the Statesmen. 6 on Brunswick. Henderson inbounds to the cutter Latham, who skies it off the glass for his first 2. Dolphins match their biggest lead now. It's out to 4, 21-17. 9 minutes to go in the half. Smith with 2 points, gives it up to Fishburne over on the far side. Smith, Fishburne, Costin. Ramirez out there, and now Christian Chambers. Hello. I know some folks on the YouTube chat are happy. Chambers not going to be happy with that, though, as Henderson steals it away. It's Cam Oates going glass and scoring. Dolphins on a nice little run right now, pushing the lead out to 6. Biggest lead for either team. Richard Bland, lowest scoring team in Region 10. They have got to take care of the basketball here today. Costin gets it back to Fishburne. Here's Ramirez for 3. Off the side iron, rebound to Latham. Dolphins looking to cook again. As Henderson flies into the forecourt, swings it out to Latham. Extra pass Bartney. 2 guys run at him. And Latham given some space. Now they collapse. Henderson tip pass out. Cam Oates for 3. No good. Latham with the rebound. Latham gives it up. And the bucket no good, but Zion Gardner is fouled. He'll go to the line. Dolphins getting bouncy with it. 7:57 to go. It's Brunswick 23, Richard Bland 17. We'll be back with more here at the Region 10 semifinals in a moment.
Where does education take you? Catawba Valley Community College offers premier community development and public services education. Train on industry standard equipment or take part in live scenarios with EMS and fire safety training. Our aspiring teachers can start their teaching degree with early childhood education programs. If you're a creative, come explore our Cosmetology Center, where your aesthetic talents will go far. Apply now. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Change the game with your technical degree. At Catawba Valley Community College, you can go beyond the textbook and learn in the innovative Workforce Solutions Complex. We have spaces for welding labs, automotive systems, computer-integrated machining, advertising and graphic design. There's no limit to what's possible at Red Hawk Nation. It's time to earn your technical degree. Apply today. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more.
Welcome back to the Region 10 Men's Basketball Tournament. Catawba Valley doing a nice job, as always, hosting this for the second straight year. Brunswick on a nice little run here. A game that's had 3 lead changes and 2 ties. It's Zion Gardner at the free throw line, 66% free throw shooter for Zion, looking for his first points here today. Dolphins, I mentioned their season. They have not lost since January. They've won 14 in a row. Went unbeaten at home for the first time in program history. Key wins against Harcum, Salkehatchie, Hagerstown, and Southern Maryland in those home wins. Richard Bland played them real tough, though, in the regular season. Dolphins did win twice over the Statesmen. However, it was by a combined 8 points. Right now, Dolphins lead by 7, extending their biggest lead as Fishburne walks it into the forecourt. Doyle Brown is back in the game, gives it back up. So the starters for Guillermo Cabrera right now. Fishburne, Ramirez, Brown in the backcourt. Here's Smith, and Smith draws contact with Costin. That is team foul number 7 on the Dolphins. First foul on Zion Gardner, so it'll be a 2-shot foul, but now Richard Bland in the 1-and-1. This is where they want to be. Statesmen now have won 4 of 5 after that opening round victory. Started the season 2-8, then went 500 to finish the regular season in the second half of the year. Smith with 2 points here today. Jalen Smith 65% at the line this season, no good on the first. Smith 10.6 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, 6.1 assists. What a stat line for him this year. And as I mentioned, that rare combination of leading the region or conference or whatever in both rebounds and assists. I was looking today and I still can't find an instance of it. So he misses both free throws, ball tipped out. Statesmen get an extra chance on the offensive rebound. Ramirez thought about a catch and shoot. He'll drive in. It's cut off. Swings it cross court. Pass tipped out by Armani Henderson. Single-digit shot clock for Richard Bland here, as Fishburne gets ready to inbound, kind of in that awkward corner there. Ramirez works to get open. With 4 to shoot, he gets fouled by Henderson. Ooh, big-time bailout there. So 1-and-1 now on the 8th team foul on Brunswick. So Ramirez back at the line. Six points today for Ramirez. Front end this time is good. Make it 7 now for Andy Ramirez. Ramirez 80% at the free throw line, and he is 3 for 3 so far today. Ramirez, 6th in the region in steals per game, having himself a nice March thus far. Averaging almost 20 a game. He had 21 in the opening round yesterday, and he's up to 8 here today. Brunswick's lead is 5, 24-19, 7:04 to go here in this first half. Latham trouble with the pass, and it's going to be a steal and a layup for Doyle Brown. Doyle Brown makes it a 3-point game as we're at the 6:50 mark. First semifinal, Wake Tech and Cape Fear in our second semifinal. That'll take place 20 minutes after this game is completed. Latham with the ball fake, top of the key to Blake Bartney. Bartney with 5 points off the bench. Henderson yet to score, gives it up. Cam Oates up against the clock, got a hoist, he does, and look at the closeout by Brown, a mistake there for Doyle Brown, and that's gonna send Cam Oates to the line for 3. Got to give the player room to land. Cam Oates, 2 points so far today. Cam first team all region, 15.5 points per game, 4.6 assists per game, 3 rebounds. 70% free throw shooter, gets the first of 3. Four points now for Cam Oates. If you're a Richard Bland fan and you're not aware, this was a kid who last year really started to find his groove as the season went on, but I've been saying this all year since the preseason at Brunswick that Cam Oates' game has upped big time here this year, and he has been a big reason why the Dolphins have been able to secure that regular season title. From the corner, it is Doyle Brown who's starting to heat up. He's got 9. That is a game high. Doyle Brown and Ramirez again, 15 of the 23. Bulk of the scoring here in this tournament from those two guys. Bulk of the scoring in the regular season from those two guys as well. 4-point lead for Brunswick, 27-23. 5:50 to go until halftime. Henderson surveys, swings it out to Bartney. Cross court, Cam Oates from deep. Can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Smith. Fishburne throws it ahead. Brown back to him. Brown in the corner, and Fishburne now looks elsewhere here. 2-3 zone for Brunswick. We've seen a mix of defenses both ways. Here's Ramirez. Ramirez gets around 2 defenders, puts it up and in. That's what you do. In the zone, you find those little spots from the mid-range, and Ramirez with some beautiful offense there. Basketball IQ, Ramirez now with 10. It's a 2-point lead. I would call Richard Bland's zone a matchup zone. It almost looks like a 1-2-2, but it's really not. Latham on the elbow, gets it down low. Gardner, bucket and the foul. Zion Gardner with the bank shot. He's up to 3 points. Chance to complete an old school 3-point play here for Brunswick. Ty Barbie, scoreless first half thus far, comes back in. Latham sits down with 2 points. Gardner again, 66% at the line. He did miss his last one. Gets that to go. So 4 in the game for Gardner. Brunswick leads by 5, 30-25. Ramirez tip pass out to Costin from Smith. Now it's swung over to Fishburne. And it's Doyle Brown in the lane. Bounce passes it out to Smith. Smith ball fake, ball fake, ball fake, and now finds Fishburne. Back to Smith. Back to Fishburne. Fires a triple. Way off. Barbie with the rebound. Good defense there by Brunswick in the zone. Nothing happening for the Statesmen offensively on that sequence. It's Oates with 5 points. Blake Bartney out deep. Barbie had trouble with the pass. A steal by Fishburne. Throws it ahead to Doyle Brown. Brown had to recover. Goes to the ground. Bartney and Oates trying to tie him up. And they're going to call a jump ball And the possession arrow will keep it here, I believe. We're going to go to a timeout. Richard Bland will keep the basketball. They trail by 5, though. It's the top seed Brunswick 30, the 5th seed Statesmen 25. We'll be back. More Region 10 semifinal action here in just a moment. That's me, Chris Shima. Glad to be with you from the home studio in Ohio. Wherever you're watching from, we appreciate it. It's Statesman basketball. Out of the timeout, 3:58 to go. Number 1 seed Brunswick Dolphins leading Richard Bland 30-25. And Fishburne to inbound. Dolphins have been in a 2-3 zone. We've seen a mix of defenses from Brunswick as they collapse trying to get the steal. Almost came away with it. Nice job by Smith. Keep his head about himself. Fishburne swings it out to Doyle Brown. Corner 3 is good. Oh, boy. This is somebody special, this Doyle Brown. Brown leading Region 10 in scoring. 18.6 per game, 39% three-point shooter. And Richard Bland within 2 now. Henderson backs it out. Single-digit shot clock for Brunswick. They got to get going here. 6 to shoot. Cam Oates given space off the back iron. Rebound by Fishburne, and that's a case of Bartney, wrong place, wrong time, as he fouls Fishburne. That is team foul number 9. So we're going to go to the other end, and Richard Bland will shoot its final 1-and-1 with an opportunity to tie the game. This game has featured 3 lead changes, 2 ties. Dolphins have led by as many as 6. Richard Bland has, I believe, led by as many as 4. It might have been a 5-point lead at one point. But it's been very tight, just like it was in the regular season between these two. Dove Fishburne, 3 assists per game on the year, 47% from the free throw line this season. He had 6 points yesterday as Richard Bland beat Gaston. And the front end goes in and out and back in for Fishburne. Derek Green checking back in for the Dolphins. Elias Bowser back in as well. And the second one good for Fishburne. So we are tied. 3 ties, 3 lead changes here in a tight first half. Cam Oates, Ty Barbie, Elias Bowser, Derek Green, Armani Henderson in the game. Green is fouled. Blocked by Costin, but got him on the wrist. So Derek Green will go to the free throw line. 16 foul on Richard Bland. Winner of this game to the championship game in Region 10 tomorrow at 2. Will it be the 3rd time in 5 years that Brunswick reaches the championship? Or will first-year head coach Guillermo Cabrera be able to take Richard Bland there? Richard Bland, back when they were D2, I think they won the D2 tournament. Maybe not their last year in D2, but close to it. Derek Green misses them both, so not a bad foul there for the Statesmen. And again, 30-30. This is right where Richard Bland wants to be. This is about the score. Want to keep it in the 60s if possible. Dolphins, obviously one of the best scoring teams at 91 a game. Doyle Brown with 12 of the 30. They run at him. Swings it out to Ramirez. And he is fouled. Ramirez also in double figures. 22 of the 30 points by Ramirez and Brown. And Andy Ramirez is going to the line for 3, I believe. No, it's just 2, so he wasn't in the act. But it is double bonus time. So Ramirez still perfect from the line here this afternoon. Richard Bland goes back on top. Ramirez now with 11. Mike Hayes Jr. checking in the, nope. He's going back, I guess. Okay, so this must be 3 shots. I thought it was a foul on a 3. So they'll let the sub in here on the second free throw. Come on, huddle camera. Okay, so now Barbie goes out and Mike Hayes comes in. 3 points for Mike. Ramirez can become the game's leading scorer if he can get this third free throw to go in. And he does. Ramirez with 13 in the game. Brown has 12. And Richard Bland leads at 33-30. 2:20 to go in the half. Cam Oates over to Mike Hayes near midcourt. Bowser out deep. Lost the handle. Gets it back to Hayes. Smith was running at him. Henderson now on the right side. Quiet opening half for Henderson, who didn't start the game. Mike Hayes, that ball was kicked. It's a late whistle, but a good call. So Dolphins benefit there as they did not have much, and then we're up against the shot clock. Instead, clock goes to 20 with exactly 2 minutes to go until halftime. Henderson in the green. Henderson, Bowser on the wing. Cam Oates, top of the key. Green. Flip shot, no good. Rebound, Ramirez. Boy, I mean, 40 minutes of great defense for the Statesmen yesterday. They gave up a bit of a run to Brunswick here today, but another solid 20 minutes defensively thus far for the Statesmen here in the semifinals. This is an impressive defense for Richard Bland. Agbo is back in. Agbo at the half circle, and that'll be a kick ball. So Richard Bland up against the clock, and they get bailed out with a kick. So 20 on the shot clock now for Brunswick. Minute 19 to go here until halftime. Richard Bland will call for time. They'll be on offense here when we come back.
The Ready, Set, Soar Open House is back at Catawba Valley Community College. At the CVCC Open House, you can explore degree programs that are fit for your unique goals. You can find your place in Red Hawk Nation. And while you're here, you'll be able to meet with college staff, discussing topics like financial aid, student resources, and how to make the most of a degree plan at CVCC. Last year was great. This year will be even better. Together, we can make your talents shine. Come to the CVCC Ready, Set, Soar Open House on March 23rd.
So fresh 20 to work with for Richard Bland as they lead it by 3. Minute 19 to go until halftime. Region 10 semifinals underway. In the corner, it's Ramirez burying the triple. 16 in the half for Andy Ramirez. This is the biggest lead for Richard Bland, matches the biggest lead of the game. They call a foul down low as Derek Green was fouled. That's 17 fouls, so 1-1 now for the Dolphins. Ramirez with 16, Brown with 12. For Brunswick, Derek Green with 6. Bartney and Oates have 5 points each. Zion Gardner with 4. Run into the 1-1 is short. Mike Hayes trying for the rebound, but it's recovered by the Statesmen. Inside a minute to go until halftime. Into the forecourt, Smith. Handoff now to Fishburne. Ramirez. This is Smith. Agbo posting up. Instead, back to Fishburne. 2 on the shot clock. The runner is good. Boy, Dove Fishburne does not look for his shot often, but that was a pretty runner, and he knew he had to create something, showing off his athleticism there. How about Richard Bland? They lead by 8 now. 38-30, biggest lead for either team. Mike Hayes on the elbow, swings it out. Bowser in the corner. Bowser, contested jumper, almost got it to go. Ball tipped out. That's off Brunswick. And it's going back to Richard Bland with 6.8. You cannot ask for a better close to the half for the Statesmen. They're going to get it into Doyle Brown here. Oates will pick up the ball. Brown at the buzzer, rims it in. Wow, 14 in the first half. Ramirez has 16, and it is all Richard Bland, the 5 seed, leading top seed Brunswick at the half, 40-30. We'll take the 15-minute halftime break, folks. We'll come back in 15 minutes, give you all the second half action, so don't go too far. It's the Region 10 men's basketball tournament from Catawba Valley. Once again, your score at the half, Richard Bland 40, Brunswick 30. Welcome back to the Region 10 Men's Basketball Tournament. Semifinal number 1 has the 5-seed Richard Bland leading top seed Brunswick 40-30 as we're ready to go here in the second half. Richard Bland held Brunswick scoreless over the final 4 minutes and 49 seconds of that first half as they built a 10-point lead. Biggest lead for either team here today in a game that has had 3 ties and 3 lead changes, and up until late in that first half was really close. Amari Latham getting the start here in the second half. Henderson, Landon King back out there. Ty Barbie and Cam Oates for Brunswick. For Brunswick, Derek Green leads them with 6. Oates, Bartney with 5 points each. 4 for Gardner, 3 for Mike Hayes Jr., and now 6 for Landon King as he buries his second 3 of the game. So Dolphins score for the first time in over 5 minutes in the game, and now they set up the press. Richard Bland able to get it into the front court. The two-headed monster added again. It's Andy Ramirez with 16 in the game. Doyle Brown with 14. Fishburne with 4. Agbo with 2. Costa and Smith also have 2 points each. That's your scoring in the first half. This is Doyle Brown. First team All-Region blows by Latham. What a move at the shot clock was expiring. So Ramirez and now Brown have combined for 16 points each. 32 of the 42 from those two guys. Cam Oates catch and shoot triple. Got it to go. Cam Oates up to 8 points in the game. So 2 triples go down for Brunswick to start this second half. And now they turn up the defensive pressure. Trying to force also maybe the tempo in the game to speed up a little bit. Down low, Agbo misses the dunk, but he got fouled by Barbie. Let's see if we can run that back. Looked like Barbie got a lot of ball there. But we'll pick on the officials a little bit as Agbo gets ready to shoot. Very close. So Agbo, 2 points today. And this is the first free throw. Richard Agbo, mainly a defensive presence for Richard Bland. Misses both free throws, but another offensive rebound on a free throw miss for Richard Bland. Oh, the hustle plays to the Statesmen here in this one for sure. Out deep, it's Fishburne. Extra chance opportunity now for the Statesmen. It's Ramirez going to work. Ramirez, ripped away by Landon King. They call a tie-up, though, and the jump ball possession arrow will keep it with Richard Bland. Barry, is it Charleston, South Carolina, or is it Charleston, West Virginia? Is it the good Charleston or not the good Charleston? That's not right. Don't say that, Chris. Fishburne to inbound it, and they had to get that off. It's an air ball by Brown, so defense holds. Dolphins quickly in the front court. Latham right of the lane. Here is Ty Barbie. Back to Latham. Puts it up. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled. Amari Latham, 9 points a game, shooting 60% from the field and 67% from the free throw line. Latham, third in the region at just under 60% from the field, but shooting 70% from the field in March, and he's short on that free throw. It's the good Charleston, Barry. Both teams with a team foul. Costin comes in for Richard Bland for Agbo. And that's going to be a lane violation on Brunswick. Ty Barbie went in before Latham released, so forget that free throw. And it remains a 6-point lead for Richard Bland. 6-2 start in the second half for Brunswick, but Statesmen lead by 6. And so far they haven't had any trouble with the press. Doyle Brown takes it himself into the front court. Now he'll hand it off to Fishburne. Landon King all over him out near midcourt. You can see Dolphins really want to try to speed the game up here. Richard Bland, though, staying cool and calm and collected. Nice cut there. Turnaround J is good for Costin. His second basket, he's got 4. Lead back to 8 for Richard Bland. Cam Oates quickly in the front court. Latham, right of the lane, rockets it down low. Ty Barbie, the reverse is good. Ty Barbie with his first bucket. Lead is 6 for Richard Bland. Fishburne throws it into the front court. Ramirez on the far side. Couple of fakes. Ramirez couldn't get it to go. A rare miss for him. Stays with it. Over 2 defenders, no good. And it's tipped. The rebound comes to Henderson. Henderson off to the races. They got a 5-on-4. It's quickly a gap that's closing, and then Oates stepped out of bounds. So Dolphins turn it over here. 3 minutes, 6 seconds into this second half. Richard Bland led by 10 at the half. Right now they have a 6-point lead and the basketball. Inbound to Brown. Smith. Bounce pass over to Brown. Now here is Fishburne in the front court on the left side of your screen. Winner of this game will play in the championship game in Region 10 tomorrow at 2 p.m. Winner of the championship gets the automatic berth to the national tournament in Hutchinson, Kansas, starting next week. Smith, a couple of nice moves, couldn't get the bucket. Tip up, no. Smith stays with it, kept the dribble as he was falling down. Barbie and Oates get on top of it, tie him up, and the jump ball possession arrow will give it back to Brunswick. So Smith had 9 yesterday, just 2 so far here today. It's Brunswick basketball as they bring in Mike Hayes Jr. Ty Barbie will go out. Cam Oates with 8 points for the Dolphins, leading his team. Mike Hayes to Latham in the lane, puts it off the glass, no. Tip for the rebound, Hayes is there. Mike Hayes swings it out. Landon King for 3, yes. Landon King's got 9. Remember, he was in foul trouble. Dolphins cut the deficit down to just 3. Ramirez backing down. His pass is intercepted. First steal of the game for Henderson. Bounce pass to Latham, lays it up, blocked. Staying with it down low, Henderson, and he's fouled. So nice defense there initially for Richard Bland, but they commit the foul. And we'll have Brunswick free throws when we come back. Dolphins coming back. They trail by 3. They'll be at the line when we return.
Why choose Catawba Valley Community College? We help people create their future. Stay on track to earn your associate's degree in a place that challenges you and encourages your growth. You can also look forward to what's next with our co-admissions partnerships, which allow students to transfer from Catawba Valley to their next university. Apply today and reach new heights this spring. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Your healthcare degree begins at Catawba Valley Community College. Our popular Valley Sim Hospital is the perfect place to develop skills in nursing, respiratory therapy, radiography, surgical technology, and more. Explore health education opportunities at Catawba Valley Community College and apply today. You never know what's next in store. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more.
Welcome back to the Region 10 Men's Basketball Tournament. Semifinal action at Catawba Valley in Hickory, North Carolina. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. Be with you for our next semifinal. It'll be 20 minutes after this one's in the books, and it'll be the 7-seed Cape Fear taking down Salkehatchie, the former Region 10 champs, and Wake Tech. Henderson at the line. He is scoreless today. Armani Henderson came in averaging 14.2 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and 4.8 steals. And all they could muster was second team all region out of that stat line. Okay. Henderson gets the first free throw to go. Chance to get within one now. And they do. 44-43. The tempo of this game has switched to Brunswick's favor here in this second half. Be interesting to see now how Guillermo Cabrera counters and what he said to his team in that first media timeout. They settle things down here now. Fishburne has it left wing, guarded by Mike Hayes Jr., man-to-man defense. Here is Smith looking to go backdoor. Henderson, second steal. Henderson spins into the forecourt, swings it out to Cam Oates, fakes out one defender, can't get the three to go. Rebound Fishburne. Right now, Richard Bland clinging to that lead, but they still have it. Smith will back it out now. Brown on the right wing, back to Smith. Now Fishburne out near midcourt with it. Smith left wing. Costin. Bounce pass taken away by Henderson. He has been everywhere defensively here in this second half. So Henderson will set it up. Hayes to Latham. Latham backing down, back to Armani, back to Landon King. Oh, Landon's on fire. He's got a dozen. Brunswick has come from 10 back to give us our fourth lead change of the game. It is a 16-4 run extended here in the second half for the top seed Dolphins. Smith attacks. Smith, no. Rebound Landon King. You're Richard Bland, you got to keep your wits about yourself now. It's still just a 2-point game. They were controlling all aspects of the game in the first half. That has flipped around here in the second. Now the Dolphins will slow things down as Blake Bartney gets set to come in for Brunswick. Cam Oates to Latham, 9 to shoot for Brunswick. Henderson, the main defensive catalyst here in the second half. Landon King's been getting it done offensively, and in and out on that one. Rebound by Smith. So Richard Bland looking to tie or retake the lead here now on offense as Ramirez has it. 16 for him, 16 for Brown. Latham running at Ramirez. Gets around him. He'll attack. Mike Hayes comes to gather, and he's stripped but fouled. Second team foul on Brunswick. 2 on Richard Bland as well with 13:26 to go in the basketball game. Agbo going to come back in for Richard Bland. Blake Bartney in for Cam Oates for Brunswick. And it'll be Fishburne inbound. Dolphins going to bring in some size as well. So a little countering with Agbo coming in. Now it's Derek Green coming in for Brunswick, and Latham will go out. Inbound goes to Smith. Here's Agbo top of the key. Fishburne left wing. And we got an offensive foul called as Bartney was trying to fight his way to the defender. And he's walking a little gingerly. Nice second half adjustments for Brunswick here in this one. Again, the matchup zone for Richard Bland. Bartney gets it into the corner. It's Landon King again. Landon King has 15, 12 of that in the second half. He's hit 4 3-pointers in 7 minutes. Brunswick 19-4 extended run here in the second half. And again, if you're Richard Bland, you gotta just stay composed here. It's still just a 2-possession game. Get back to playing the game the way you want. Spinning is Ramirez. Ramirez fading away. Wow. An and one for Ramirez. And that barely touched nylon, fading away. That was beautiful. So Ramirez back at the line. He has a game-high 18 points, chance to make it 19. Get his team within a couple. Missed the free throw. Rare miss for Ramirez here today. Green's got the rebound. Bartney into the front court. Now Henderson will set up the offense here for the Dolphins. Landon King is open in the corner. They'll get it to him. Got to close out on him. They do not, and Landon King has 5 triples in the second half. Unbelievable second half performance. Dolphins have 22 points on the board in the second half in 8 minutes. They had 30 at halftime. Smith in trouble. They got to get it across, and good eyes there by Fishburne. Now it's a steal. Henderson with his 3rd or 4th steal, bucket and the foul. What a run by the Dolphins. 24-6 here in this second half, and the top seed is starting to really flex. We're going to go to a timeout. It'll be Henderson at the line for an old school 3-point try when we get back. Well, it's been a combination of defense from Armani Henderson and offense from Landon King, who now matches Ramirez for the game high with 18 points. 6 3-pointers for Landon. Henderson now for an and-one opportunity, as it's all Brunswick here in the second half. Henderson now with 5 points. Dolphins lead by 9. 25-6 is the run for Brunswick out of the locker room. Attacking Ramirez, stripped by Bartney. Bartney poked from behind. Nice recovery there by Ramirez. Into the forecourt, it's Smith. 11:30 to go here in our first semifinal. Chris Sheeman back with you, wherever you're watching from. Thanks for hanging out with us this week and into the weekend. Smith backing down, driving, stripped by Mike Hayes Jr. Tried to save it, and who touched it last? Brunswick. They reset the shot clock there. Are the officials going to discuss this with the scorer's table? Possession never really changed. And I think they are going to change the shot clock. So Richard Bland going to have to go quick here, but they do retain possession. Doyle Brown out deep. A correction, they have plenty of time. There's still 16 on the shot clock. That's my bad. Here is Ramirez on the right. Ramirez had it poked away, but a foul by Landon King. Both teams with 4 team fouls with 11:04 to go in the game. And that is bad news for Brunswick because their leading scorer has to go out of the game. A little bit of foul trouble for Landon King here today. I don't know if it's his 3rd or 4th. If it's his 3rd, he probably won't sit for too long. If it's his 4th, he could be out for a while. So if you're Richard Bland right now, your eyes light up. The guy who has hit 5 3-pointers in the second half is now on the bench. Doyle Brown, no, but he's fouled. During the regular season, in the first 2 meetings with Richard Bland. Brunswick has had these runs, and they've been able to go up double figures in both regular season meetings. But Richard Bland was able to get to the free throw line. Free throw disparity was the big reason why, even though Richard Bland did lose twice to Brunswick in the regular season, it was decided by 8 total points. They were very competitive because they kept attacking, and they're starting to get back to that here now as Brown gets the first to go. That's his first basket here in the second half, first point, I should say. 17 in the game. Make it 18. So Brown, Ramirez for Richard Bland with 18, Landon King with 18, all three the leading scorers in the game. Brunswick's lead is 7, 55-48. First semifinal for you. Wake Tech and Cape Fear coming up about 20 minutes after this one is done. Mike Hayes from Henderson out to Bartney, and Bartney got caught up in the air just a little bit there, lost his tippy toes. Oh, Landon King's like, get me back in. I'm too hot. I don't care if I'm in foul trouble. Walter Shaw says, not yet. Inbound goes to Brown. And into the front court. Costin, nice defense there by Green. Staying vertical, not drawing contact. Henderson into the forecourt. Mike Hayes to the cutter, Bartney. Bartney, nobody picked him up, and he just turns around and puts it up and in. Bartney with 7. Lead back to 9. We're past the midway point here in the second half. Dolphins have controlled the second half 27-8 after trailing by 10, 40-30 at halftime. Bartney on the reach. That's 6 team fouls now on Brunswick. Smith is back in. I'm not sure who's coming out, though. Right now, Richard Bland has 6 guys out there, so it's Costin who departs. So next one puts Richard Bland in the bonus. Brown into the front court. Statesmen winning by 14 against Gaston in the first round yesterday. Brown loses it, another turnover. And Henderson will slow it up for Brunswick. Dolphins, winners of 14 straight. They haven't lost since that South Carolina trip at the beginning of the calendar year. Henderson, Mike Hayes down low, goes glass, can't score. Rebound controlled by Ramirez. So Dolphins cooling off a bit. See if Richard Bland can capitalize now. Smith into the front court on the near side of your screen. Guarded by Mike Hayes, man-to-man defense for Brunswick right now. We've seen a mix of man and 2-3 zone from the Dolphins. Doyle Brown, corner 3, that's huge. 21 for Doyle Brown, who had 23 in the opening round, and it's a 6-point game. Cam Oates attacks. Cam Oates blows by the defense. He goes into double figures now with 10. Big bucket there for Brunswick. They were starting to cool off. They needed that. 8:27 to go in the game. Fishburne now to Smith. Brown left wing. Brown attacks. Couple of fakes. High off the glass. No. Rebound Derek Green. Inside 8 minutes to go here in our first semifinal of the Region 10 men's basketball tournament. Top seed by 8. Bartney cuts, draws contact on Agbo. And Blake Bartney will go to the free throw line on the 15th foul on Richard Bland when we come back. 7 minutes and 51 seconds to go here in semifinal number 1. It's the top seed Brunswick, 59. The 5 seed Richard Bland, 51.
Come join a campus that believes in you. We believe everyone can belong, that their passions can be shared, and their voices can be heard. We are open to new possibilities, and we encourage you to explore what's next in store. Come join a campus where the ordinary can become extraordinary. Who knows? College could be more than you ever expected. Be more. Be CVCC.
Did you know North Carolina community colleges are not permitted to use public education funds for athletic programs? Without generous financial support, CVCC athletics would not be possible. Thank you to every sponsor, past and present, whose donations have opened doors for our Red Hawk athletes. CVCC is committed to excellence, and we need your help to continue our athletic legacy. Scan the QR code on your screen to make a gift and become a sponsor today.
Welcome back to Catawba Valley, hosting the Region 10 men's basketball tournament for the second straight year. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. Brunswick 59, Richard Bland 51. 15 foul on the Statesmen. Blake Bartney going to the free throw line. I don't see any changes for Brunswick out of the timeout. Jermaine Costin is back in for Richard Bland. Agbo goes out. We briefly saw Christian Chambers in the first half, but for the most part, it's just been a six-man rotation. I'm surprised Vonham, I remember seeing him during the regular season. He has not played at all today. He played sparingly yesterday. But the Statesmen tightening up their rotation here come tournament time. Bartney now with 8 points. Good day for Blake. Make it 9. So Brunswick has flipped it around, trailing by 10, now leading by 10, 61-51. It's a 31-11 second half for the Dolphins. Richard Bland not in trouble yet, but 7.5 to go. They've got to get control of this game again. They were playing great in the first half, controlling the tempo. Fishburne, another runner. He has his second runner and 6 points in the game. Got to get stops on this end of the floor now. Landon King still on the bench with foul trouble. Hit 5 3-pointers in this second half, Landon King, to help spearhead this comeback for Brunswick. Down low, Derek Green wrapped up. Nice tie up there by Smith. Jump ball possession arrow does favor Brunswick, though. So Henderson to inbound it. High for Latham. Cam Oates drives. Pull up short. Tip for the rebound. Latham has it. Latham goes glass, can't score. Green cleans it up. Derek Green has 8. Lead is 10. So Derek Green providing some size along with Latham. And nice job there to get it into the front court. Here's Ramirez. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled by Green. It's also team foul number 7 on the Dolphins. Just the first foul on Derek Green. That was a big problem for him at the beginning of the year, and one of the things he started to figure out a little bit as the season went on. Andy Ramirez at the line. 18 points in the game. Doyle Brown with 21. Ramirez had 21 yesterday, and he can get to 20 here today. He's now got 19. These huddle cameras, am I the only one who's annoyed I can't see the free throws? Maybe it's something that just bothers me, but like for the money that these cameras cost, follow the ball. So Ramirez gets them both. Now Ramirez has 20 in the game. Brown and Ramirez with 41 of the 54. Cam Oates walks into the front court. Agbo back in for Richard Bland. Oates goes left side, looking down for Green. Nice defense there by Agbo. So immediate impact for him. Ramirez far side. Extra pass out to Brown. Fakes the three. And he has it stripped by Henderson. That, I believe, is steal number 4 or 5 for Henderson here in the half. Cam Oates will back it out now as Agbo and Green are battling one another. A little old school basketball there as Henderson bucketing the foul. Armani Henderson with another and one opportunity as the Dolphins, with 5:50 left to go, take its biggest lead now. Brunswick by 11. Agbo out. And here is Christian Chambers. So Christian Chambers, who played briefly in the first half in the game. And Henderson completes the old school three-point play. A dozen-point lead for Brunswick. 5:48 left to go. It is pretty much do or die time now for Richard Bland, and sensing that, Guillermo Cabrera calls for time. We'll take it with them. Dolphins lead by 12 with 5:41 remaining in the game.
It's time to redefine what it means to be a college student. At Catawba Valley Community College, Red Hawks do more than learn. They explore, embark, and excel. Take charge of your academics close to home. Seek new talents. Capture your degree from every angle and build the education you've always wanted. When it comes down to it, why walk when you can soar? Raise your standards. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Discover the CVCC Alexander Complex, your gateway to college in Taylorsville, North Carolina. The CVCC experience knows no bounds. It's education that reaches you, no matter where you are. With several associate degree programs and continuing education opportunities, you can unlock the full potential of Catawba Valley at the Alexander Complex. This is higher education close to home. Visit cvcc.edu to start your journey.
Welcome back to Catawba Valley. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. Dolphins have outscored Richard Bland in the second half, 36-14. Statesmen led 40-30 at the half. The Dolphins have flipped that here in the second half, as the top seed looks to advance to the championship game tomorrow. It will be the third time in 5 years that Brunswick has reached the championship, winning one time in the last couple of tries back in 2021. Oates went for the steal. Step back, foot on the line there for Brown. And Henderson now into the forecourt. Dolphins in control. Clock's your friend right now. Down low, Derek Green couldn't get the dunk to go. He got fouled by Smith. Good foul there by Smith, although he almost gave up the bucket. Make him earn it at the free throw line. Both teams now are in the bonus. And again, our next semifinal game, Wake Tech and Cape Fear, 20 minutes after this game is in the books, thereabouts. Still a lot of time left in this one. Green with 8 points. He has not shot well from the free throw line this year. The first one is good, though. Chance now for Derek to get into double figures. Landon King leads them with 18 points. Oates also in double figures with 10. Green now with 9. Bartney with 9. Henderson with 8. Christian Chambers checking back in for Richard Bland. So 1 out of 2 at the line. Rebound controlled by the Statesmen. Ramirez on the far side. Driving in, bank shot is no good. Rebound controlled by Derek Green. There's Vonham. I was just talking about him. So Emmanuel Vonham missing his first basket. Still haven't seen Landon King, which leads me to believe he does have 4 fouls, but I would think probably at the under 4 is when he'll get back in the game. Nice pass to Green. Green, tough angle, blocked initially, and then cleans it up. 11 for Derek Green. And Brunswick has blown it open. It's a 15-point lead. Again, just 14 points in the second half for Richard Bland. It's Costin for 3, in and out. Latham the box out. Inside 4 minutes to go in the game. Brunswick is on its way now. Bartney over on the far side. They collapse 3 defenders around Green, who almost got that to go, falling down. He'll go back to the line, though. So Derek Green will shoot a pair when we come back. 3:37 left to go in the game. It's all Brunswick. Down the stretch we go. That's me, Chris Shima. Glad to be back with you. Catawba Valley hosting the Region 10 men's basketball tournament. Dolphins getting a first round bye. And it took them a whole half of basketball to wake up. But boy, have they in the second half. They have outscored Richard Bland in the second half 40-14. So Green off, gets 1 out of 2. Green now with a dozen. Lead is 16 for the Dolphins. Henderson, Bartney, Oates, Latham, and Green, the 5 for Brunswick. Fishburne, Chambers out there, Vonham, and Ramirez and Brown, the 5 for Richard Bland. Dolphins, a little bit of trouble with the rebound. Bartney able to gather. So Dolphins are 3 minutes away from their 3rd championship game appearance in 5 years. Henderson, I believe, has 5 steals in this half alone. Cam Oates, little flip shot is good as Oates gets a dozen points on the day. Vonham attacks. Chambers to that to Doyle Brown, and Doyle Brown will go to the line. Opportunity for Brown now to match his total from yesterday. In the first round, Richard Bland's Doyle Brown scored 23. He's got 21 here. The leading scorer in Region 10. Richard Bland, despite being the lowest scoring team in Region 10, has the leading scorer, the leading rebounder, and leading assist man. 2 of those guys are the same person. Jalen Smith led the region in rebounds and assists, and Brown, of course, as I mentioned, leading in scoring. 22 in the game now for Brown. Landon King will come back in. We're going to see Khalil Cook out there for the first time. Mike Hayes returns Ty Barbie also back in. Henderson remains out there. Now Cam Oates is going to come right back in, and Henderson will go out. Really nice run here for Richard Bland under head coach Guillermo Cabrera in his first year, playing well at the right time of the year. They ran into a juggernaut here in the second half especially. This Dolphins team since January has just been so good. Ty Barbie, top of the key. One of the best teams in the country, as a matter of fact, since January. Attacking Ramirez. Ramirez now with 22. Richard Bland going to burn some timeouts here with 2:03 left to go in the game. All Brunswick right now.
Why choose Catawba Valley Community College? We help people create their future. Stay on track to earn your associate's degree in a place that challenges you and encourages your growth. You can also look forward to what's next with our co-admissions partnerships, which allow students to transfer from Catawba Valley to their next university. Apply today and reach new heights this spring. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more. Your healthcare degree begins at Catawba Valley Community College. Our popular Valley Sim Hospital is the perfect place to develop skills in nursing, respiratory therapy, radiography, surgical technology, and more. Explore health education opportunities at Catawba Valley Community College and apply today. You never know what's next in store. Visit cvcc.edu to learn more.
Welcome back to Catawba Valley. 2:03 to go in a 15-point game. It'll be Brunswick basketball. Landon King and Cam Oates. A little trapping pressure here for Richard Bland, as the Dolphins look to play keep away here, and they're going to start fouling. Really? 15-point game? Well, we'll see if the strategy will pay off. Cam Oates going to the line with a dozen. So I started talking about this before the timeout, but it'll be interesting to see now. Guillermo Cabrera will have a full season under his belt and a full opportunity to recruit as Cam Oates gets up to 13 points. But a nice run here for Richard Bland at the end of the year after a tough start. Cam Oates with 14. Biggest lead for Brunswick now is 17 again. Brunswick stays in a little trap here. Chance to maybe burn some clock. Down low they go, and it's Costin laying it up and in. 6 now for Costin. Landon King trying to play keep away. Dolphins trying to kill as much clock as possible, and they turn it over. Minute 29 to go in the game. Into the front court, Fishburne. Vonham cutting. Fakes out a couple of guys and scores his first basket. So lead is 13. Cam Oates gets it ahead to Mike Hayes Jr. in the front court. Landon King thought about another 3. Landon King at the start of this second half hit 5 triples to help this big run. Richard Bland, the officials, credit the officials. They understand that there's a lot of volunteers working today. They were not blowing the whistle on the ticky-tack grabs, and so now the foul's committed with 53 seconds, and Cam Oates can go to the line, put a little extra frosting on the cake for a Dolphins victory here today. It'll be 15 in a row now for Brunswick as they go to the championship game tomorrow at 2 p.m. 15 now for Cam. Dolphins fans are aware of this. Walter Shaw, winningest coach in Region 10 history, is getting closer to 500 now, and I believe this win will put him 6 shy of that. Cam Oates gets 1 out of 2. Into the lane, the tipped bucket no good, but Costin able to clean it up. He's up to 8 points. 14-point game with 41 seconds to go. I don't understand this at all. Well, correction, 12-point game. So Cam Oates going right back to the line. Hit 1 out of 2 on the last sequence. Right now, Landon King with a team-high 18. Oates with 15. 16 now for Oates. Derek Green also in double figures for Brunswick with 12. And, of course, Brown and Ramirez leading scorers for Richard Bland. As always, they have 22 apiece. Cam Oates with 17. It's back to 14 with 39.7 left to go. Ramirez was running backdoor. They go to Vonham. Vonham can't get it to go. Costin had it stripped. Vonham is fouled. Come on, Ty. So Vonham at the line. Those of you looking for Wake Tech and Cape Fear, it'll be 20 minutes after this one's in the books. So Vonham up to 4 points. Chance for an old school 3-point play here for him. Get his team within 11. And Vonham gets it to go.
And the line for the Dolphins, 2, Cam Oates, shooting 2.
So Cam Oates now back at the line. I can't believe they're still fouling here. It's like, come on, guys. So Cam Oates now matching Landon King for the team high 18. Now can surpass Landon here with another free throw. So Oates, opportunity to get those numbers up here in the late stages of this one. And the lead back to 13. 20 seconds left to go. Here's Ramirez from downtown. Got it to go. 25 for Ramirez. Lead is 10. I mean, the game is like it's done. Landon King, what a second half. King hit one three-pointer in the first half. He had 3 at halftime. He's now got 18 points, 5 triples in this second half. Making 19 now. Matches Oates for the team high. So 12 seconds to go. Another 3 by Ramirez, no good. Put back by Costin is good with 5.9. Inbound goes to Ty Barbie. This is absolutely not the way to lose. Like, I'm sorry. It's I get one to play it out. I really do, but this is not it for me. So Ty Barbie at the line. 2 points for Ty today. So Barbie gets 1 out of 2. Lead is 10, and this will do it. Richard Bland's season comes to a close as they fall to the top seed. Dolphins to the championship game. 81-71. What a second half for Brunswick as they take down the 5 seed Richard Bland. Folks, we got to go. We got our next semifinal coming at you 20 minutes from now. It will be Wake Tech and Cape Fear as they look to book a trip to the championship game as well. Dolphins fans, championship tomorrow at 2 p.m. For everybody else, we'll be back at about 6:20 for our next game.